Over the last 100 years, this area, this 10-yard area behind the lacrosse goal, has taken on many names. The office, the in-home, first home, and sometimes X. But for a pair of young women going to school less than 30 miles apart in Northern Virginia, it was a place for setting records in 2013. For most of the history of women's lacrosse, the 12 positions on the field had distinct roles, so much so that, as exemplified by this footage from a 1975 game between the USA and England, the positions were tacked to the back of the team uniform. The players did not have numbers. The style of play lent itself to the first home, seen here behind the goal cage, passing from behind to any of her teammates cutting in for a shot. But in modern lacrosse, with its hard boundaries and restraining lines, there is less emphasis on position specialization, and the game has evolved to having attackers, midfielders, and close defenders just like in the men's game. On attack, the principle is the same, however, and it's valuable to have one or even two good feeders behind the goal cage. What made the spring of 2013 so extraordinary is that not one, but 3 players cracked the top 10 in the single-season assist ranks. 2 broke the existing national record, and they are very different players. Besser Dyson is the analytical one of the pair. She sees her role as a necessary evolution in the game of lacrosse.
So I just think it's all about timing, and especially with the kind of cuts that I feed, it has to be perfect timing or else they'll be by it, especially with the pace of how quickly this game moves.
Of course, it also helps to have the leading scorer in the history of the National Federation on your team.
I do tend to pass to Carly a lot because she is so quick, as you saw today. I mean, she's always open in the middle, which makes it easy for me. And she's nailed down the backdoor cut, and so she tends to be always open in the middle. She beats her defender, so I'll feed into her and she'll make the shot. So I feel like that's where that comes from.
Part of the story of the 2013 season was just how difficult it was to stop this dynamic duo of lacrosse players.
They're best defender on Carly because she's so quick and has the most goals, so that makes the most sense. But I think a lot of teams that play us, we have so many good attackers that if I have a great defender on me, then other people are going to make the passes in, other people are going to score. We're just so many people can do everything, so we're really fortunate to have like attackers who are so diverse and feeding and shooting. Like Carly makes great feeds in, so it just kind of it's just hard to shut down our offense, I think.
In contrast to the analytic Dyson, Corinne Wessels, from about 30 miles west of St. Stephen and St. Agnes School, plays the game with an unbridled passion, one that comes from her club coaches.
Shannon Smith at Ghost Northwestern, she really inspired me. She's a really crafty player, really inventive, and I just really wanted to be kind of like her. She's my inspiration, so I tried that spot. Sometimes I'm up top, sometimes I'm behind, but really my home is just behind, rolling the crease, getting everyone open.
At the National School Girls Tournament in 2013, Wessels DC Metro won the championship. She also had a unique milestone in 2013, becoming the first player to get 100 goals and 100 assists in a single season.
I think it's a pretty cool statistic, obviously, but I don't really think I can get satisfied by that. Like, I just need to keep pushing 10 times harder, really, because that's just how much more pressure's on me. I'm just gonna have a target on my back and be that girl that had 100 points and 100 assists and 100 goals. So I'm just gonna step it up and use that as fuel to just work harder.
Both of these players also have something else in common. Both were coached by Hall of Fame coach Kathy Jenkins.
I think we needed a person to be the quarterback of the team. So Besser was one last year who was really good at feeding from the top of the 12, and she sees the field really well. And we tried a couple different options, and we decided that Besser was our best option to be that quarterback. She could come back up top, and I've watched a lot of college games. I see a lot of the two top players getting behind the goal and setting up crease situations and different kinds of attack, and you have the cutters up top. Also for Maryland, I used to like where they double stack and they pop out and they have someone try to challenge 1v1 and you work on the 1v1s.
With the end of the 2013 season, came the end of a pair of remarkable performances by Besser, Dyson, and Corinne Wessels, setting a couple of awfully high marks for others to shoot at. For topofthecircle.com, this is Al Matei in Alexandria, Virginia.